Good morning students. Today we are going to discuss about different types of solutions. Okay, different types of solution. In yesterday class we are going to discuss about types of solution based upon the number of solvent and the solute particles. Solvent and the solute particles. But here we have to discuss about types of solution based upon the concentration, based upon the concentration gradient, based upon the concentration gradient. So the solutions are divided into two types. Those are saturated solution, and unsaturated solution, Okay, saturated solution and unsaturated solution here. Saturated solution means take a solution. In that solution both solvent and solute particles are present. Am I correct? Both solute and solvent particles are present. Now we consider the solvent particles here. Based upon the solvent particles are completely binded with the solute particle or not. On that situation, on that case, we divided the solutions into saturated or unsaturated solution. In this case, saturated solution, the solvent particles are completely bonded with the solute particles. Completely binded with the solute particles. That is called as saturated solution. Saturated means complete comfortability of the solvent. That means the molecules, even though 100 molecules present in the solvent, the 100 molecules are binded with the 100 solute particles. It is called as saturated solution. Unsaturated means even though some solvent particles are binded with some solute particles, remains some free solvent particles. Some free solvent particles are there in that solution. Okay, don't confuse. Just see here. Just observe here. Saturated means all the solvent particles binded with solute particles. That type of solution is called as saturated solution. Unsaturated solution means even though some solvent particles binds with okay, solute particles, some solvent particles remains free in that solution. The type is called as unsaturated solution. Some solvent particles binds with some solute particles, but if you observe the solution, some solvent particles are not binded with any other solute. That means these solvent particles are completely free. the type of solution is called as unsaturated solution. The type of solution is called as unsaturated solution, students. Is it clear? Then how to make a saturated solution and how to make a unsaturated solution is representing here. First of all, making saturated solution. Take a 100 ml of water. Take a 100 ml of water in a beaker. 100 ml of water in a beaker. Okay. Now you have to add 1 spoon of sugar. 1 spoon of sugar, 1 spoon of sugar, and take a spoon and stir it well. With the spoon you have to stir it well. After that you will observe that the sugar particles completely dissolved in the water. The sugar particles completely dissolved in the water. So now this is the first case. In the second case, take this sugar solution, completely dissolved sugar solution, 100 ml of sugar solution. Okay, I am taking this sugar solution only, 100 ml of sugar solution. Now, in that solution, I am again add half spoon. I am again add half spoon or 1½ spoon or 1½ spoon. 1½ spoon sugar. 1½ spoon sugar and stir well. What will happen? This sugar also completely dissolved in the this solution, completely dissolved in the solution. Okay. In the third case, I am adding 100 ml of this sugar solution. 100 ml of this sugar solution. Into it I am adding 2 spoons of sugar. 2 spoons of sugar. What will happen? After stirring with the spoon, some sugar particles present at the bottom. That some sugar particles present at the bottom. Some sugar particles present at the bottom. Some sugar particles present at the bottom. Why? Because why it takes place, students? Because here I am taking 100 ml of water. Water means solvent. Am I correct? Solvent. Okay. Sugar means solute. Sugar means solute. Okay. Carefully listen. Carefully concentrate here. Okay. 100 ml of water belongs to solvent and 1 spoon of sugar belongs to the solute. So, after stirring with the spoon, the sugar particles completely dissolved in the water. So, sugar particles completely dissolved means some solvent molecules binds with 1 spoon of sugar. 1 spoon of sugar. In this case, what taken place? Some solvent molecules present in the 100 ml of water is completely bind with the 1 spoon of the sugar. That's why sugar is completely dissolved in that water. Is it clear? In the second case, let us consider the second case. We added 1½ spoon of sugar. We added 1½ spoon of sugar. Okay. Here I mentioned some solvent. Okay, that means only some solvent particles are binded and some solvent particles are remains free in nature. Is it correct? Some solvent particles are free, some solvent particles are binded with the 1 spoon of sugar. Now, after adding of 1½ spoon of sugar, that remains free. Again, some solvent particles binds with 1½ spoon of sugar. Binds with 1½ spoon of sugar. 1½ spoon of sugar. Okay. Here means the free solvent particles present in that solution also binds with again added sugar particles. Okay, next time added sugar particle. So almost 90% of solvent, almost 90% of solvent is binded with the solute particles. Okay, here I think 50% of solvent binds with 1 spoon of sugar. Okay, here only 40%, that means 50 plus 40, 90. Okay, this solution I am taking here. So in this solution 100 ml of water, in the 100 ml of water, 90 ml of water is binded with sugar particles. That's why sugar is completely dissolved in that water. Now in the third case I considered 2 spoons of sugar. 2 spoons of sugar. So here only 10 ml of water is free. Here only 10 ml of water. 10 ml of water, that is nothing but solvent molecules. Only 10% of solvent molecules remains free. So on addition of 2 spoons of sugar, only 10% of solvents binds with 10% of solute. 10% of solute, that is sugar, solute nothing but sugar. So 10% is involved in the binding of 10% of the solute. So remaining it considered as a 100% is 10% is utilized, 10% is dissolved in 10% is the free molecules of the solvent. So remaining 90% is not binded with the solvent. Why? Because the solvent particles in the solution is completely binded with 100% of the solvent completely binded with solute particles. So there is no space for binding with these 90% of the solute. So these solute do not dissolve in that solution. That's why these 90% of the sugar particles settle down at the bottom of the beaker. Is it clear, students? Is it clear? So I said that saturated solution means all the solvent particles present in the solution is binded with the solute particles. Even though solute particles remains free, but the solvent particles is completely binded with the solute. So all 100% of solvent is binded with the solute. That's why this type of solution is called as saturated solution. This type of solution is called as saturated solution. Saturated means 100% of solvent is dissolved with the for example 100 molecules of solute is enough to combined with 100 molecules of solvent. Here we added 1000 molecules of the solute here. So but we are having 100 molecules of solvent here only. So these 100 molecules of solvent binds with the 100 molecules of solute. Remaining 900 molecules of solute settle down at the bottom of the water. This because of saturated solution. Okay, then unsaturated solution is, here it is called as unsaturated solution, here it is called as unsaturated solution. Why? Because in this case the solvent particles are not completely bind with the solute, some free solvents are there, some free solvents remains free in these solutions. In this solution only 50% solvent molecules are binded, remaining 50% is free. Am I correct? Okay, in this case also, okay, 90% of solvents are binded and only 10% of solvents are free. Okay, the solution in which free solvent molecules are present, those types of solutions are called as unsaturated. Those types of solutions are called as unsaturated solutions. Students, do you following me? Okay, unsaturated means free molecules of solvent present in any solution. Those types of solutions are called as unsaturated solution. Okay, note this point. All of you got my point? Thank you. Then concentrated solution. What is meant by concentrated solution and dilute solution Students, I mentioned it as saturated. I mentioned it as unsaturated. Correct? Now, the conversion of unsaturated solution into saturated solution takes place by adding which? By adding solute. This unsaturated solution becomes saturated one. Okay? This unsaturated solution becomes saturated solution by adding sugar, that means by adding solute. So, in any case, the conversion of unsaturated solution into saturated solution takes place via addition of solute only. Now, another case, the conversion of saturated solution into unsaturated solution also takes place here by adding solvent. That means here solvent molecules are less in number but solute particles are more in number. That's why it is called as saturated. Now, to complete dissolving of these solute particles, we add another 100 ml of water. This water is called as solvent. Now, it will becomes as the unsaturated one. Got my point? Conversion of saturated solution into unsaturated solution by adding solvent. But the conversion of unsaturated solution to the saturated solution is by adding solute. This is very, very important in your intermediate also. It is very, very important point. concentrated solution. Concentrated solution means the number of solute particles more when compared to solvent particles, it is called as concentrated solution. For example, take a glass of water and add 1 spoon of sugar. Okay, then take another glass and having water. Now take 3 spoons of sugar. Add 3 spoons of sugar in it. Okay, what sugar in the two cases, which sugars easily dissolved in the water? In this case, sugar is in small amount and water is enough to dissolve that sugar. But here, in 1 glass of water, 3 spoons of sugar is overly added. So, it is not dissolved completely. So, in this case, solute is in more when compared to the solvent. Solvent is less in number, solute is more in number. That type of solution is called as concentrated solution. Second case, dilute solution. Dilute solution means, okay, these are all basics. Okay, I am discussing here in this class, all are basics. Okay, if you know these basics only, you can get the depth of the subject. If don't know this basic, you don't get any bit, you don't answer any bit, any IIT bit or any competitive bit in your intermediate also, in your 10th class IIT exams also. Okay, so by knowing these basics only, you can answer in any way. Okay, whatever the question asked. Dilute solution means solvent number is more when compared to the solute. So in this case, we take a same example. You take same example, 1 glass of water. Okay, add 1 spoon of sugar. Okay, this water is enough to dissolve the 1 spoon of sugar. But in case of dilute solution, take 1 glass of water and add a pinch of sugar. Add a pinch. Pinch means very little amount. Very little amount of sugar. So compare these two cases, which sugar is easily dissolved and which sugar it has less amount in number. In this case only, the sugar easily mixed with the water, but it takes some time to, even though it dissolved in the water completely, but it takes some more time. But when compared to it, it can take less time and it is in less number. That is, solute is less in number, solvent is more in number. So this type of solutions are called as dilute solution. These types of solutions are called as dilute solutions. Okay, then Then next concept is osmosis. Next concept, osmosis. Osmosis. What is meant by osmosis here? Osmosis is the phenomenon. Of moving or movement or transport of water from which region to which region? From high water potential area. High water potential area to low water potential area. Low water potential area. Water potential is denoted with a symbol psi. Okay. Through plasma membrane. Through plasma membrane only osmosis can occur. Through plasma membrane. It is called as osmosis. The phenomenon of movement or transport of water from high potential area to the low potential area. What is the high potential and low potential here? If the water is more in quantity, that is called as high potential. If the water having low quantity, that is called as low potential area. This definition, okay, also written as the phenomenon of water movement or transport from lower concentrated area to the higher concentrated area. It is called as osmosis. Okay. Even though water potential is more in that area, if water is more, concentration is less. If water potential is less, concentration is more. These are common. Water is more, concentration is less. Water is less, concentration will more. So, if the water moving from high potential to the low potential, it is called as osmosis. If the water moves from low concentrated area to the high concentrated area, it is also called as osmosis. Okay, don't confuse students, carefully listen. Then take an example. Sugar solution having high concentration. Sugar solution having high concentration when compared to water. Sugar solution having high concentration and water having low concentration. So, it is, in other words, we can write as water having high potential and sugar solution having low potential. It is potential, it is concentration. Okay, you just consider any one of these. Okay. Now, take a potato and make a hole inside the potato. Now, pour a sugar solution in the place. Then keep this potato in the water containing beaker carefully. Now note the level of the sugar solution in that potato. First case, okay. In the second case, in the first case, water is present outside, sugar solution present inside. Okay. In the second case, same potato, and for example, same type of potato, and make a hole inside it and add water inside. In this case, add water inside the hole and sugar solution in the beaker. Now in this case, sugar present outside, water present inside. Here water present outside and sugar present inside. These are the two cases, two examples. Okay, leave it this experiment for some time. After a while, you will observe that water movement from this area and through the plasma membrane of the potato and enters the water into the sugar solution. Why? Because always water moves from which region to which region? High potential region to the low potential region. So here water potential is more when compared to the sugar solution. So water is moved towards the sugar solution. So then what will happen? The sugar solution come upside and again dropped into the solution, outer solution. Okay, this type of movement of water from outside to the inside of the cell, it is called as endosmosis. Endo means inside. The movement of water, it is called as osmosis. Am I correct? Okay, if the osmosis takes towards the inner surface, it is called as endosmosis. But when you observe here, the water always moves from high potential region to low potential region. So the water present inside the cup of the potato moves towards the plasma membrane and enters into the sugar solution So the level present in the water, the level present in the cup of potato is decreases. So you can conclude that the water is moving from inside to the outside of the cell. Potato is nothing but a cell, plant cell, having plant cells. So through the plasma membrane, water is coming from inner side to the outer side. So this type of osmosis is called as exosmosis. Exo means outside, towards outside. Okay, in this experiment we conclude that we discussed about endosmosis and exosmosis. Okay students, got my point? Thank you.